Last year, we had a chance to take Porsche's newest EV, their Taycan, on an epic journey. We drove all the way from Copenhagen to Hamburg, Germany. We hit the Autobahn, all of it. Make sure to watch that video. After you watch this one, go and check out the video description, or you know what, right now, I'll leave a link right in that corner. Click on that and watch it after this video because I go into a lot more detail of the Taycan. But today's video, we're on home soil with this new Taycan, and we're gonna show you what it's like to live with this day in, day out as the ultimate family vehicle. Just in case you haven't watched the previous video on the Taycan already, let me just say this again. T-A-Y-C-A-N. It sounds or looks like it should be Taycan, but it is Taycan. That has been confirmed by all the Porsche people in Germany. So, what's not to like about the styling of this Taycan? I'm telling you, it's very flat. It tapers down in the front. It's really wide. How wide it looks when you stand straight in front of it. Man, it looks good. You have standard matrix headlights. You have these side air curtains. Now underneath the front hood, of course, there is no gas engine. You have a storage compartment in the front as well as in the back, which we'll get to in a sec. This is equipped with the standard level 2 charger on the driver's side. On the passenger side, this one is equipped with the DC fast charging plug, and this is what it looks like. Now, when we were on that launch in Europe, some of those Taycans actually had a power charge door. You can get that. That is an option, but this is just equipped with the standard, just regular mechanical version, which is fine. Guess what? Less things to go wrong. So that is your 220 plug there, and your DC's on the other side. Standard on here, you have 20-inch aero wheels. They look okay, but if it were my money, if I was buying this, I would probably opt for the non-aero wheels. I just think they look better, and yeah, they are not as efficient, but you know what? I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of efficiency for more style. Now, when you first walk up to the Taycan, it'll recognize your key. We've been here for a while and the vehicle is on, so it's not doing it, but the door handles will pop open for you. I just put my hand under there. They will pop open automatically for you. So we close that. And of course, the best thing about this Taycan, for me, with a family, is it has 4 doors. So now you can have a lot of fun. You can have a sports car and you can have a family car at the same time. This is equipped with the fixed panoramic glass roof. And onto the back, very clean look with a super sleek LED lamp that goes straight across Taycan turbo there. And check out the quad exhaust. No, just joking. There is no exhaust on here. So open up the trunk. There is quite a bit of room. It goes really far back. It's very, very deep. Another thing, this Taycan is equipped with the air suspension, and that's a real nice thing because right now it's in the lowest position. And if you go into Sport Plus mode, for instance, you'll go into a low position. The suspension is very, very hard at that point, but it's also, the vehicle's very low. And you may actually bottom out on some larger bumps or some of those big speed humps. So you can just go and flick a switch, or not a switch, just hit the button and it'll rise up for you. And if you go into certain modes, it'll just rise up. And also, if you're driving this in snow, put it up. This Taycan Turbo is not inexpensive, but is that really a surprise to you? It is a Porsche and it's a performance EV, so you put those two together, it's not an inexpensive proposition. So this Taycan Turbo starts at about $173,000. And if you add up a bunch of options, this has the performance package, gives you the Sport Chrono and a whole bunch of other goodies, like PDCC as well. This also has the premium package and it has the DC fast charge. Anyways, you add it all up together and you come up to about $190,000 for this particular model that we have here. So what does 190 grand get you on the inside? It gets you a very cool cockpit, starting from the seats, front and rear leather seats. They are both heated and cooled in the front, heated in the rear. Super, super comfy. You have a nice leather wrapped steering wheel. What I like about the steering wheel is they didn't clutter it up with a whole bunch of buttons, and that seems like that's the trend nowadays on newer vehicles. This just has a sports car like look and feel. You have a couple wheels on here, and of course you have your drive mode, which we'll get to in a second. Up front, I've said this in my previous video, I'm a huge fan of this digital dash. Why? Because it's not just a rectangle square, a 10 or 12 inch screen that they've just put there like so many other vehicles are nowadays. It's shaped, it's curved, it looks like an actual instrument cluster. And when you're buying a Porsche, I want that. Beside there, you do have some more screens though. You have your infotainment screen. Now, one thing that on the previous model that we drove in Europe, it actually had a passenger screen as well, an additional screen on beside this one. This one is not equipped with that, but you can get that as an option, of course. You have your screen here. It is quite easy to use. It's all touch screen. Now, you can also use your Porsche Connect app on your phone, and that lets you do a lot of remote things, like even check the status of your charging. You can do remote climate control as well, so you can preheat your vehicle or pre-cool it, all from the app, which is kind of cool. And below that, it acts also as a mouse or trackpad, so I can select certain items on the screen from down here if I don't want to touch the screen there. I think it's just as easy just to hit that up there. But one thing I want to mention though is that, of course, this has a backup camera, and this has the optional 360 camera, goes right around, and there's some pretty cool augmented reality views that this has, and you can just kind of fly around. However, when you do put the camera on, let's put it into reverse right now. Okay, the default mode that it switches to for the rear view camera itself, I find they've really distorted the view. It's the angle, and it's kind of deceiving. You really have to be careful when you are backing up. Don't just solely rely on just the backup camera. Use that 360 camera as well. And then you just have that little toggle there for your transmission selector. There is a little pass-through down here where you can place some things. Here's a water bottle. Check this out. This is from a Porsche dealership, and they actually have a Taycan Turbo right on their water bottle. How cool is that? So will that fit? Yes, it will. That water bottle would fit. I wouldn't recommend that you put it there though, because it can fall out and roll and possibly get stuck in your pedals, and you go to grab a bunch of brake and it'll be jammed. You don't want that. Connectivity, you have two USB-C connectors on here. This also has, as I mentioned, the large glass, fixed glass panel roof, so it does not move, but there is no support beam or anything. It's pure glass from the front all the way to the back, and it really does make a huge difference, especially when you're sitting in the back. Of course, it's not the ultimate family vehicle without loading up the family. Buckle up, you guys, let's go. It's on. You know what, you guys? This isn't a car. Huh? This is not a car.
Is it a race?
No, it's a rocket ship.
No, it's not.
It's a rocket ship with wheels.
It's not.
It is. This is a rocket ship with wheels. Are you ready? Are you ready for takeoff? Buckle up. One interesting thing, when you hop in behind the wheel here, it automatically goes into regular drive mode. You don't even have to push a button or start it up or anything. So we are...
Are we recording?
Yeah.
The seats aren't going forward.
The seats? Whoa, okay. Listen to here. Okay, listen to the rocket ship, you guys.
Wow. It's really fast.
Oh wow, that does have a feel, man. Oh.
It feels like we're going on a plane.
We are going to warp speed. All right, so we are in the Taycan Turbo and the rocket ship, aka amusement park ride, and we're not even really tapping into the max power of this, which with boost and launch mode, it's 670 horsepower. Okay, everybody, put your head back.
Okay, they
All right, and now I'm not even gonna go launch mode, okay? But just to give you an idea of the type of torque, so it's got 626 pound-feet of torque as well. Here we go.
The fly probably.
All right, so the roads are wet right now, so I'm really actually not even giving it all the throttle at all. So you have a lot of horsepower. Of course, for a family vehicle, you want all-wheel drive, and this has all-wheel drive, and it has air suspension, so you can raise the vehicle up, making this a 4-season vehicle. This is the only car we need. In wintertime, this has winter tires too. So wintertime, raise it up. You are literally driving a electric missile. And it feels like it. Now, that sound that you hear, you can turn that sound off as well. And it really is the actual real sound of the car, but they've amplified it. So it's not a fake sound per se, but it's the volume of it is a little bit fake, and you can go through the menu and turn it off, but I think it's kind of fun to have it on. It really makes you feel like you're in a spaceship. But what's incredible, even at a rolling start here, when you push the accelerator, the torque, it's instant, absolutely instant. I have to stop doing this before people start getting sick though. Yes, okay, someone just says if I do too much, they might throw up. So the perfect solution for that is drop them off at school. Yes. Okay. Now we mentioned that we did drive this in Europe when it was first launched, and the nice thing about this test drive is that I'm in my hometown, I'm on familiar roads, on familiar highways, I know where the cops are hiding. No, just joking, I really don't know, but I just know where it's safe to go a little bit faster and maybe slow yourself down. But we're on the highway right now. There is so much power. We mentioned this does have 2 motors, one in the front, one in the rear. Now on this turbo, the front motor is a little bit smaller than the one on the Turbo S, and that's why you get a little bit less power, but it's still plenty quick. 0 to 60 is around 3 seconds. 0 to 100 is 3.2. So really, really, really quick. And the one in the rear has a 2-speed transmission. Front is single speed, one in the rear is 2-speed, and where that's going to help you when you're launching for acceleration from a dead stop, and efficiency, so you can save a little bit of your juice when you're doing higher speeds. We're not in Germany right now, so there is no Autobahn, but yeah, this is it's cruising along. We're doing like 110 clicks, no big deal. But the nice thing is, if you need to get somewhere or get into that lane really quick, it's like that. You are driving a full-size electric slot car. It's that quick. If you own one of these, don't be mean to your passengers. If you're going to be doing some hard launches, make sure, warn them first so they can put their head back. Otherwise, they're gonna slam their head back, and that's never fun. Maybe the first time it's a little bit fun, or in the second, but after that, no. Just warn them. So this has a 93 kilowatt hour battery, and range-wise, it's about, at full charge, it's about 420, 430 kilometers, and I'm finding that it's fairly accurate. Now here's one thing that I mentioned in the last review, but I've been really able to try it out a lot more on this drive here. If we go into our menu for our vehicle menu, and there is a setting for recuperation, okay, which means regenerative braking. There's off, on, and auto. It is on right now, so as we are coming and slowing down, when we let off on the accelerator, it's going to regen some power back to the batteries. We are taking off a light right now. So, see, when I let go, there is some resistance there. If I turn it off, and I let go of the accelerator, I just coast. There is zero resistance whatsoever. But this is my favorite part. And I don't know if any other manufacturer has it. I don't think so. They have an auto setting. So if we turn auto on, now, okay, there's a car in front of us, and if I get a little bit close to him and let off my throttle, it's actually slowing me down. Okay, I need to slow down even more there. But the beauty of this is that you don't have to turn it on and off, on and off. If the traffic opens up and there's no one in front of me, it'll just be like a free rolling vehicle. So that is one of my favorite features. You just have it on, and the regen is not super powerful like some of them that, you know, you let off and you're all of a sudden you're locked into your seatbelt. It's nothing like that. It's quite subtle. The beauty of electric vehicles with a lot of power and torque, you can do what I just did. There was a small opening there, able to accelerate like a jackrabbit into that spot without impeding the other driver's progress, because I do not like doing that. If I'm going to go in front of you, I'm not going to make you slow down. Off the start, you can basically just hear the tire grip. And these are winter tires, by the way, that we have on here. And the traction is incredible. It really is. With that all-wheel drive, most cars, if you have that much power and you put your foot to the floor, you're going to be all over this place. And this really just puts all that power on tap, and it just harnesses it very well right to the pavement, exactly where you want it. A lot of you have asked me, how does this Taycan compare to the Tesla Model S? And you know what, it's hard for me to compare because I have tested the Model S, but that was about, oh boy, that was about 5 years ago. It was when it first came out, and it was a P90 performance. It had the plus on it. It was fast. It had insane mode, and that's what I remember. It was blinding quick. Boy, oh boy. It was no quicker than what this is, though. But one thing that I do remember is how simple the interior was compared to this. But this just really feels like a proper interior. That one is very simple. If you like simplicity, there's nothing wrong with that. But just the choice of materials, how it looks, you really feel like you are in a cockpit when you are driving this Taycan, opposed to just a big open airy space with a large screen. But you know, that's my opinion. You know what? I'd like to try a new Tesla out. So hey, if you live in the west coast of British Columbia and you have a Tesla for me to try out, hey, give me a call, leave a message, and I'd be happy to test your car out. Now, you can't call this a family car without the ultimate test, the Costco test. So let's see what we can fit in here. One thing I've noticed while driving this for almost a week is that you will get noticed driving this Taycan, but in a good way. People aren't just going to be staring at you. They're just looking at, wow, what really is that? And they know that it's a Porsche, but it's just a little bit different. And you do get a lot of respect driving this vehicle, especially if you happen to stop at a charging station and get a quick charge in, let's say. This is the holy grail of electric vehicles right now, and people just really want to know what it's like to drive an electric Porsche, and it's a lot of fun talking to them about it. So eventually the novelty of doing these super quick launches is going to wear out. It didn't happen in the course of shy of a week, but it will, you know, the novelty will wear out a little bit. So then what do you have? Well, you have an amazing Porsche still. Through and throughout, this is a Porsche. It handles like a Porsche, it looks like a Porsche, it feels like a Porsche. Everything that you've come to enjoy about Porsche is here. One thing that I'm really gonna miss about driving this Taycan, though, is how quiet it is, and of course the instant acceleration, and not just the 0 to 60, but just the instant torque, even rolling around, and it's just so effortless to drive. We're in normal mode right now. We don't want to do any launches or anything, and it's so nice just to have that power on demand if you need it. If not, you just drive it like a regular vehicle. This adaptive suspension is very good for everyday driving. If you go into Sport or Sport Plus, it is going to make a marked difference, but regular driving, these are not smooth roads we're on right now, and it's handling all these expansion joints and all these construction bumps without any issue at all. Also, another advantage of being quiet is rolling into your neighborhood at all hours of the night. It could be 2 in the morning and you roll into your neighborhood. No one even knows that you are coming into your house and backing into your driveway or anything, unlike other 600 plus horsepower cars on the market where, yeah, you're not going to be a huge fan of your neighbors rolling in with that V10 or V12, that's for sure. So which brings me to my final point about the sound. When I drive a V8, a good sounding V8, it's such a nice tune when you hear that internal combustion engine going, and you do not get that with this EV at all. You do have that electronic sound if you want, but it's definitely not a replacement for that real good sound of an internal combustion engine. So am I gonna miss that? You know, I would honestly have to drive this for a longer period and live with it for a longer period to really come to that judgment, you know, and unfortunately, I don't own this. However, I would be open to testing this for a longer period, all in the name of research, by the way. So Porsche, if you are listening to this, I will be your man for that if you'd like. Finally, is this the ultimate family vehicle? Yes and no. You see, it does work for our family. You do have storage capacity in the back, in the front. You can carry passengers in the back, the 4 doors. There in the back, you have four doors. Makes it easy to get in and out of for the rear passengers. However, the kids have said it is a little bit cramped back there, so it's not as convenient as, let's say, having a Cayenne. So I say, if you can afford it and have a little bit deeper pockets, this would be a great addition into your garage. You know, you can carry the people around, get groceries. It can do it all, and the best thing, you won't burn a single drop of gas. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Ciao.